Listen, it's a full moon. It's the first of the month. Wake up, get up. I should have said that today. Like, but hey, Couture Bays, it's your girl Brooke going live with the Bree Talk and Bay Squad. We gotta talk. We have to talk. We have to talk. We have to talk. So we gotta talk about Klay Thompson. Don't give a fuck. Okay, he is letting it be known. We gotta talk about 50 Cent's time is up. You know, somebody about to cut off his water. Of course, we gotta talk about Flame Monroe. If you don't know, I love Flame. Everything about Flame Monroe. He, she, we, they. Love Flame. Love Flame down. Y'all know I support Flame every chance I get. Hopefully Flame is doing a show when I get back. So I can see her, see the doll. And of course, we're gonna be talking about thank you, boo. Hey boo. Sorry, y'all. My allergies is acting up. We're gonna talk about 50 Cent, Klay Thompson. Rihanna was pissed. Okay, Rihanna was pissed. Rihanna is mad, and of course we gotta talk about Kris Jenner. Don't nobody work harder than Kris. Don't nobody work harder than Kris. Okay. With that being said, let's like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you can get all the updates and alerts. And remember, opinions are not facts. Everything we say here is alleged and for entertainment purposes solely. So sit back, relax, sip you some apple juice or my favorite, the vegan water. Let's get in the mess. How you can like this video is by double tapping the screen. Dot, dot. If you can't double tap the screen, hit those three dots right there. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Subscribe if you like the vibe. Share if you care. Share if you care. Okay, how you can engage with this video, how you can hype this video, how you can send a donation or send a gift is hitting those three dots right there. Sorry, y'all. I was eating hot Cheetos. Can y'all tell? Very ghetto, very ratchet. Hey, Darius. Hey, Cassie. What's going on? Hey, Say Hudson. Yes. You see it? I know you see it. I know. Baby, what is going on with the boys? The boys are becoming degenerates. Are they not? But speaking of degenerates, let's talk about Kris Jenner. Tell me what Khloe Kardashian, she has her pod that nobody listens to. Somehow it's being funded. She did a podcast. She's been hosting her mom on it on like several episodes, like since last year. But she recently had her mom on and she was like, can you cut off Lamar Odom publicly? Now, y'all know Kris Jenner is not about to do that. Because if you remember when the Kardashians was on, they recorded Lamar on life support, and that's when he woke up. He woke up, okay? Kris was over there like, you want me to cut off Lamar? Because Lamar said he used Khloe Kardashian for clout. I think he's saying that now because if we're going to be honest, I don't see that. I see that to me, when I listen to Lamar, it's given they both was on the party favors. Case in point, y'all remember when Trina used to be big in the party scene, right? And in the party scene, she used to have Khloe with her. They would be partying. Khloe had like 2 or 3 DUIs by that time. She ends up meeting Lamar Odom. Mind you, Lamar he just won a championship with the Lakers, right? They get married, they accelerate to the top. They accelerate to the top. You know, Khloe becomes this household name. Khloe becomes bigger than Kim. Kim had a whole meltdown. Y'all remember that? Because I didn't forget. Kim had a meltdown because she's like, what's going on that you can just land this top NBA athlete? He was top 6, the big 6, if y'all remember. So they get married and then boom, it seemed like it was happily ever after. Whole time, Khloe was over there into all kinds of things, if you catch my drift. He said some stuff. I had to go back and listen. Go back and listen to that interview he just did recently. People were upset he was talking about her, but if you listen, he was saying things without saying things. Then I went and listened to what Ray J had to say. And I was like, I be looking at the minute marks. Shout out to the people who be putting that in the chat. Look, y'all, I'm not big enough to have that in the chat yet. Soon come, right? Hello, 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 hello. So you have Lamar alluding to things, Ray J alluding to things, and Chloe talking about cut him off, cut him off. Kris is not going to do that. Kris is not going to do that. Kris Jenner is not about to cut off the last black man that's tied to the black community. Why would she do that? She's like, no, because you should have stayed married to him. You're over here with wide hip, switch hitting Tristan Thompson when you should have stayed with Lamar Odom. Like, all she had to say was she didn't want to have kids with him, and we would have understood. And we would have understood. But it's starting to look like Chloe is scared something's going to come out because Lamar has been itching and itching. He's been being very transparent, right? Because he said, what I used her for fame. And she's like, cut him off because she was real mad. She was over there with Malika talking about, I can't believe he said that. Why would he say that? And I'm just like, girl, why would he not? You had the cameras in his face. He woke up and cussed you out, which means he really ran that household. Because remember, Chloe seemed to be the only normal one, and the whole time it was Courtney. And the whole time it was Courtney, we were bamboozled. We were bamboozled. Hey, hey, hey. Of course, Chloe was wild. She was North before North. Ooh. So then I went and looked at Kris Jenner's profile. Kris Jenner is out here, baby, doing the work of Satan himself. Because not only is she making sure her daughters still be somebody, she is prepping Northwest, honey. If you think she's not prepping Northwest to take over, you're sadly mistaken. I said, I'm looking at some of the things Northie is doing, and I'm starting to get a feeling like, yeah, this is given. What's a good movie reference? What's a good movie reference? Mm. Do y'all remember that movie with Keanu Reeves and he was playing like the angel or something like that? And then the devil came up and reached down in Keanu Reeves' lungs and pulled out the cancer? That's Kris Jenner. I had to think about who Kris Jenner was because she gives you the option and she makes you fulfill your part. She don't give a damn. The fact that she hangs out with Faye Resnick still to this day, knowing the things that she knows, yeah, she don't give a damn. She said, you hoes owe me. I had to put up with a lot. You owe me. Not the devil's advocate, but I like your thinking. I like your thinking. It was the one where he was the angel himself, and he went and they you could see who was the demons and who was the angels. That is Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner was the man who wore the white pantsuit, who was trying to take Keanu Reeves back to hell. That is who Kris Jenner is in human form. Yeah, I see you, girl. Speaking of human form, tell me why Beyonce is tapped into Black is Pride. Go look at that last post she did. I had to go look at it again. Beyonce is tapping into some real good energy, baby. See, the girls who are creative are getting creative. Hey, Magic T3, how's it going? How's it going? Please no cussing in the chats, okay? The hell? Anyways, moving right along. Let's get into Bad Girl Riri, okay? Tell me why Rihanna was caught by TMZ going off on ASAP Rocky. I think we're starting to see the shift and the paradigm when it comes to these heterosexual relationships. Constantine, yes, that's the name of the movie. Thank you so much. Thank you, James, because I could not think of it. That is a good movie. Y'all should definitely watch that and watch Doctor Sleep. Watch it. So, Rihanna was out with her baby, ASAP Rocky, her husband, And they was getting into it publicly. Now y'all know Rihanna has turned into the Avon lady. She has become prim and polished, okay? So her being the Avon lady, all that rebellious spirit she used to have, she no longer has it, right? But we're starting to see the cracks in the surface. Baby, she was mad. And I'm starting to believe ASAP is getting her pregnant during their fallouts. Because, follow me here, Rihanna is the fashion Don Dada. But now ASAP is becoming the focal point of their relationship. ASAP is the reason why those business execs wanted to part ways, because they felt like, look, you're putting your time into this court appearance, this court hearing with this man. I don't understand. I get it, but very ghetto, because she's been able to keep up that image. She left the ghetto things behind her. Every now and then she do a little hood rat stuff, and we love her for that. But she's been bougie, bourgeois. She's been doing I'm a mother. I want to get back into the arts. She's been doing her signaling. Hence why I say she was very calculated in her article she did last year by saying, my only favorite album was Anti. My only favorite album was Anti, when Travis Scott had creative control to assist you. Baby, something's going on in that marriage. And we could tell something's going on in that marriage because she does not feel safe. She does not feel protected, because she knows he will discard her. When that deranged woman showed up at her house and put the blicky, put the tool to use, she was the only one at home. The kids weren't there. He wasn't there. Do y'all catch my drift? And then people were starting to give her backlash because she was tapping back into her former self with her daughter. And they said like it was very dark. Remember, we talked about it. She did that last photo shoot with her first son, when she was talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta or something like that. Was it the first son or the second son? I think it was the second son. And they said it was super dark. And they didn't understand why she, being as beautiful as she is, as statuesque as she is, why she would do such a dark photo shoot with her baby. And she wants to come back. She's tired of being a mother and a wife. That is my theory. She's tired of being a mother and a wife, and she's tired of giving her light to ASAP. Because you could see it. There was a power dynamic, a power play going on. Go watch that clip. I think it was TMZ. TMZ is so messy. Harvey has been so messy lately, has he not? Her photo shoot. The industry does not take weight gain lightly either. Ooh, yes, I remember when she was the only one with the kids. Hey, La. Energy switching, yup. Do you think he has good intentions? I do not. Not after how she was acting yesterday. Said it from the beginning. Rocky only loves the camera. It's plain to see she's hanging all over him. Yup. Yup, because they used to take photos where she would be in the forefront. Now she walks behind him. And she used to make sure all her photos, she was in front of him. Now they see her behind him. And then he be, child, I'm not saying they're going to break up. What I'm saying is she got her babies up out of this. But you can tell she's over it. She's ready to be Rihanna again. You could just tell. Rihanna was the Kemet Egyptian goddess mask tatted on her. Has the Kemet Egyptian goddess mask tatted on her chest. I mean, yeah, but until you truly tap back in. And yesterday, she snapped before the full moon. As tapped in as she is, with the way they're trying to harvest the energies and all that stuff. Why was she doing that? And he looked unbothered, unfazed. He looked unbothered and unfazed. And I think she even said, just like, I said, let's go. And I was like, ooh. She does not seem the type to stay if not happy. But I said he paid for and have the public fights because of her insecurities. She's a superstar. She is a superstar, but I'm telling y'all, when y'all be listen, when they announced the pregnancy and all that stuff, she only announced it because she was trying. I truly feel like she was trying to get her get back at a certain individual. Y'all are probably thinking Chris Brown. That's not who it is. It's Drake. It is Drake. I'm telling y'all what I know, okay? Because she was standing beside Drake when Drake was over there fighting, when Drake was over there whooping Chris Brown's ass in the club, and Karuchi was over there holding it down, and she was like, I'm so embarrassed, but Drake wasn't, and he made a hit song after that. Child, please. I'm telling y'all what it is. I'm telling y'all what it is. She over there, she's starting to calculate. You trying to be in front of the camera? You getting beside yourself. I'm just telling y'all. I'm telling y'all that album did nothing. His album did nothing. His album did nothing. She's okay. We'll see. Let's see how this year play out. Let's see how this year play out because, yeah. Let's get into 50 Cent. Okay, 50 Cent. I love to take advantage of the community. No, 50 Cent has been losing in court. He lost to his baby mother. Okay. Y'all see this person trying to play? You have aged exceptionally well for a 50-year-old woman. I can't wait to make it to 51. I can't wait to make it to 51. You cannot age shame me. I'm not 51, but the fact that someone would even try. Baby, the manosphere be, let's just nip this in the bud. The manosphere be trying so hard to be seen with their broke behinds. You know, all they can do is keyboard bang. They can't do nothing else. Can't do nothing else. But it's cool. It don't matter to me. Let's pray you make it to 51. Beloved. Anyways, 50 Cent has been getting sued and losing. Losing and sued. Losing and sued. And now, definitely corny. Now, I posted it on the timeline. I posted it on the timeline or whatever, the wall. And I'm like, 50 Cent getting sued again? You caught up in some mess? Oh, they're about to make you pay. See, 50 thought he was going to be out here just doing whatever he wanted to do, talking about the people. But Diddy is coming back to spank you. See, while y'all was saying Diddy wasn't doing anything, Diddy is behind this. Diddy is a very patient, calculated man. Do you think Shaniqua, who is his first baby mama, was about to lose? Diddy got pulled his number. I told y'all, Diddy is a very, when you want to play, let's play. And a lot of people think because Jay-Z was like, oh, we're not friends, that hurt Diddy's feelings. That didn't hurt Diddy's feelings. Diddy understands. Once they start hitting you with the Rico, you have no friends. You need to lock in. You need to focus. You need to get out of this Rico business. You understand? And he beat it at the fat level. So he's untouchable now. Anytime they try to come at him with something, it's not going to work. Y'all forget, Diddy still has friends in high places. 50 Cent was out here making a mockery, doing all types of stuff, talking about Netflix, Netflix, Netflix. And we found out that 50 Cent didn't own his studio. He's in debt. He lost to his first baby mama, so she didn't lose. He tried to bury that. It didn't get buried. His second baby mama is only playing nice because she wants to keep her son. Baby, Diddy came back to collect. And he's doing that from behind bars. I can only imagine when he gets free. 50 Cent, you in trouble, baby. You in trouble. All the OGs that you was hating on made it through the fire. You did not make it through the fire. Let's see if Eminem, Big Bro, will help you out. Let's see if Dr. Dre will help you out. I'm sure Dr. Dre won't. He barely made it out of that brain aneurysm. He started talking about love and light and let's do right. He even went to make sure he took care of his kids. The kids he abandoned, he made sure they had houses and homes and stuff. Yeah. Diddy behind this. Diddy behind this. Diddy is a very calculated man. That's why he's always in everyone else's personal business. He's a bully. He a bully till a real bully show up. He a bully until a real bully show up. Diddy and Kris and Drake are all Scorpios, diabolical. Y'all know they say once you get on a Scorpio's bad side, you might as well have an enemy for life. That's what they be saying. But he can talk about everyone else. He's not going to have 50 Cent when they get through with him. Ooh, no wonder we have not seen him in the blogs as of late. Listen, 50 shorts, and he's not even ready for it because you can tell 50 Cent should have been married. He didn't marry Cuban Link. That was the last straw. No woman wants 50 Cent. 50 Cent is aging horribly. Have y'all seen 50 Cent? Without the filter, he's filtering his pics. We see him in that commercial. He does not look good. He does not look good. He looked like he's sick. How is it Diddy, who was on every party favor known to man, is aging better than you? Make it make sense. And I don't feel bad for 50 Cent because he did this to himself. He did this to himself. It is what it is. 50 still on 48 Laws of Power time. He's a fool. He couldn't even defeat T.I. He couldn't even defeat T.I. T.I.'s sons tapped into their musical gifts and wore him out. The fact that the crash out of the Harris family was able to trademark things that 50 Cent should have already had trademarked, as big of a troll he is. And I said, oh my God, not King trademarks some stuff that deals with your lineage and your bloodline unprepared. He ain't no real bully. And that's how I can tell. That's why I told y'all the real bullies be out here bullying people. They be bullying, they don't need a machine. You can tell 50 Cent is sponsored by somebody. I kept telling y'all that. He is sponsored by somebody. He made this great documentary off of Diddy, but can't make a great documentary off of nobody else. If it's about doing the work as a producer and a director, then make it make sense. The stew is not open. And Louise, okay, y'all keep playing with these people. And I told y'all when he embarrassed them people about who he wanted to give the money to, Louisiana don't play. As much as people like to say they racist down south and all that other stuff, you should never play with them old states. Louisiana is one of the first old settlements. They've been around for centuries. Do you understand? America had to buy Louisiana from the French. Y'all gotta know y'all history. They've been around since the beginning. That's why when you go down into Louisiana, the people know their history. They not slow. They not stupid. They just be like, they don't care. And it is what it is, and that's fine. But you see how we fight back. And he could have did his business anywhere. He wanted to come to Louisiana. Child, He's in a 30-year-old lease agreement with Shreveport, Louisiana for a film studio. Where is the films? Where is the products of this great accomplishment? Ate him up. A whole puppet. How masculine. Exactly. Exactly. That's why we like. Now let's move on to Klay. Because I want to say Flame Monroe last. You know, we got to say the best for last. We got to say the best for last. Okay? So Klay Thompson don't give a fuck. He out here doing any and everything but freeing that girl from the people. That girl came out here crying. the WNBA player, her name is irrelevant. That girl came out here crying, talking about she's getting death threats and how either Megan could, you know, or her homeboy Klay should tell the people to back off. I said, if Klay is your friend, because that's your friend, how come Klay can't clear up your name? Klay can go to streamers when that baby, if you listen to what that streamer said, that streamer clocked Klay down, ate him up, and spit him out. Because I didn't know Klay, I didn't know you had all this baggage with you, my brother. Like, Klay, if you're going to be on demon time, you gotta pay the girls. You gotta pay the girls. See, this is how I know a girl is a liar. The WNBA player, she's a liar and the truth ain't in her. When she first came out and said it wasn't her, she should have left it at that. But she came out 24 hours later. She did not come out right away. Most people, if they would have been like, oh, Bree be over there with Chris Brown, Chris who? I would have been like, Chris who? I would have been out here like, baby, y'all got the wrong one and left it at that. Sister, as soon as Megan, and I went and looked, because I got the information immediately, not days. I'm talking about immediately. Her comments were off. Her comments were off. And she's talking about, oh, I'm getting death threats and all this stuff. I said, okay, that's not cool. But then I saw Klay talk about go touch grass to that streamer. Klay on a boat. He can easily say it's not you. He can easily say, hey, my friend has nothing to do with this. Y'all got the wrong person. Because you said y'all are friends. Girl, the fact that that man commented on the streamer's post and not your post, sister, you did this. You posted and thought you wouldn't get caught. I keep telling y'all, it's 2026. When you are posting about a celebrity and your close friends, you think your friends aren't going to tell people because you decided to be messy. And this is what happens when you decide to be messy. When you do mess, you have to understand what comes with the mess. I can never post text messages between myself and Drake and they be shocked that the girls are looking at it in the close friends. Because when we're talking about the celebrities, and a lot of people are tied to bloggers, what do you think would happen? And the reason they're not posting what you posted is because nobody wants to get sued. See, these so it was cool to post in your close friends all your messages with you and Klay, and now you shocked not because you're a girl's girl, because at the end of the day, Clay's the problem, right? Because he's the one who cheated. But girl, I looked up your stats. I looked up who you were. I was just like, you were looking for a moment. You were looking for a moment and you got the moment. You didn't expect people to treat you like this. And you thought Klay was going to come to your defense. But Klay ain't even coming to anybody else's defense. Why would he come to yours? When the ex-girlfriend, not the one who wanted clout, not that one. When the ex-girlfriend, the one after Coco Jones said, this man, because she's the one who took the picture of the diary where he wrote how he was going to play the girls. Baby, that is a warlock, okay? That is a warlock. He needed the energy. He's siphoning y'all energy. And you're a pretty girl. You're young. You're youthful. And he got you. Got you like that. Ooh, where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Run that check up. Run that check up. And run that check up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Terrence, for the star. So, girl, when I was over there reading what was in the diary, I was over there like this. It's giving warlock. It's giving warlock. I'm telling y'all, it's giving warlock. Is he Mormon? They love to keep journals. Mm. Hey, boo. Hey, y'all. Listen, I don't know. She never really talked about his religion. But I tell you what, it's giving warlock energy because he's always on that water. I went and looked at some of the books she was reading while she was with him. Baby, he was trying to siphon the energy. He was trying to siphon the energy. I feel bad for the girl because if I was getting dragged, my friends would come to my defense. The fact that that man wouldn't even publicly come to your defense tells us everything we need to know. You was over there. You was over there, and since he won't defend you, cut him off. Cause you crying on camera, they do not care about black women crying on camera. I'm just telling y'all what it is. They hate it actually. Mm-mm. They hate it. Mm-mm. They rather see Kim Kardashian cry on camera. They rather see Taylor Swift cry on camera before they see you cry on camera. Now let's get into Flame Monroe. It is what it is. Argue with your mammies. So Flame Monroe, who I love, okay, comedian. She says she's not an activist. Activist, entrepreneur, personality in the community, part of the LGBTQ trans, was sitting down on a pod discussing how in 2019, was it 2019? When Flame Monroe said trans women are trans women, they're not women. I went and watched that whole pod with Flame Monroe and Portia. Very good. Y'all should definitely check it out. I think it's on Flame's channel, so you can see the whole thing, right? How many straight men like him do women have? Oh, that they didn't grow up with. Oh my God, St. Hudson. Baby, I knew she was lying when she said, we're friends because he's in the NBA, I'm in the WNBA. Girl, what? When she started making excuses for that friendship, I knew she was lying. So Flame Monroe went into how the community despises her because of what she said on the Breakfast Club. We spoke about that. I thought that was very iconic. I thought that was very truthful. And there were huge personalities who did not like what Flame Monroe had to say because it, I don't know. I don't know because I'm not in the community, right? I'm not trans or anything like that. I'm not, so I didn't understand why they were upset. How are you advocating for trans rights, but you want to be called a real woman? Doesn't that defeat the purpose of the trans rights? Shouldn't you be fighting for rights for women? That, and I'm paraphrasing. I loved it. And here's why. Flame Monroe was not the only one who said this. And recently, Flame been saying this. And then personality Christy. Christy is from New York, I believe. Christy is I don't know what Chrissy is, but Chrissy is loudmouth, gay man, right? I think gay. Chrissy said it on in his pod. He clipped it, put it on Instagram, and the trans girls were swinging and banging. They were upset, practically saying, "You are a trans woman, but you want to be called a real woman, yet you want people to." All this activism and stuff like that, you want them to adhere to that, but you don't even want to be called what you're being an activist about. And I said, so who is all this activism for? That's what Chrissy said. Baby, you would have thought Chrissy Flame Monroe said F the trans. The way that some of the people were in the comments swinging and banging. And I keep telling y'all, they keep moving the goalposts. I feel like this trans women should be able to live cohesively amongst us and not have to worry about anything, right? But there comes a point where we have to say, are you okay? Yes, please like this video. And when I say are you okay, I'm talking about these meaningless uh convoluted talking points about, oh, you're just mad because your man wants me, when in reality, it's like, don't disrespect me, right? Because trans women don't want to be called trans women. But when we say don't call us cis women, they're like, well, that's a psychological term. That's truly the scientific term. Well, if we're really going into scientific terms, shouldn't you be called trans woman? And I always tell y'all this. I said, baby, they love to pick science when it's convenient. They love to pick, oh, my feelings when it's convenient. But when we're having these conversations, all of a sudden it's the nuances. It's not a nuance. You just want to feel how you feel and then tell other people because you feel like a hit dog in the conversation. And instead of articulating that, all of a sudden, here comes the phobias and the phobics because I simply say no to something. Now, even though I have trans friends and all that stuff, I don't believe trans women should be in the sports. Have your own sports. That's why we have the Special Olympics. Okay? That's why we have certain things because not everybody can participate. But instead of y'all understanding that, y'all made it seem like heterosexual women were harming you when it really was the men. When it really was the men. It really was the men. It's always the men. And then it's like, y'all believe the lives of men over women? Since when? Since when? So I loved what Flame Monroe was saying, and I'm happy Flame Monroe did not go into a corner and just shrivel up and die. I'm happy Flame is continuing being herself, himself, their self, because Flame is amazing. Flame is an old school trans woman. Flame has the history. And I'm not saying the new school trans women are the problem, but they hate to hear the truth from those who've lived it, who've done that, been there, done that, can write a book about it. So I was here for you, Flame. I loved everything you were saying. I loved how you just talked about life and experiences and what it meant to be uh, a pillar for your community, even though they don't see you as an ally, because literally you are representation for the community because you have done more good than bad, if we're going to be honest about it. I'm still learning, and yes, I'm not in the spaces, but I don't like to be called cis. I never like to be called cis woman because, like, that's not on applications. They be like, oh, it says cis. I don't even understand why they're trying to pump that rhetoric out here until, and I might say something controversial, but until the gay community stop upholding systematic oppression in the community, th- th- I'm telling you, they're not even gonna care that you're trans. They're gonna lump you up into whatever law they can do next. I didn't see a lot of the trans girls out here talking about the 15th Amendment the way that Flame Monroe was. I didn't see a lot of the trans girls out here talking about women's rights and reproductive rights and maternal health crisis and things of that such the same way Flame Monroe was. You know what I'm saying? The only time they want to come up here and talk is when it's dealing with a man, a heartbeat and a penis. I know the elders, the founders did not go out there and endure the most atrocious abuses for y'all to care about a heartbeat and a penis. But y'all love to talk about community, community, community. Y'all have to stop aligning with supremacist values so that way we can all be equal. Yeah, yeah, and that means being respectful to those, respect of other spaces, and you can't be ready to crash out. Now, there's some people who do things, and I don't agree with it, and they should be called out. But because the DL Whisperer is saying things, we can't pick and choose. Either we're going to hate in peace or love in peace. Pick one. I just recently heard about cis women. Ooh, the elders weren't looking to be coddled. What they didn't have, they created. And they mind their business. Yes. Yes, they did. They did mind their business. And I saw a documentary um, talking about the trans community and the things that they have transformed, right? But to make it seem like it doesn't result back to being a woman or being a man when you decide to transition, it's so weird to me. Because who was your inspiration? And if black women this and you're a black trans woman, who was your inspiration? And your mama don't understand all this. Who is your inspiration? Because you had to have somebody in mind when you said I'm a transition. Who did you get your essence of womanhood from? And I think that's what's missing with a lot of the trans girlies. They just see it as a fetish so that they can get money. I think that's controversial too, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm here for you, Flame. Like I said, the girls, the dolls, the Rainbow Coalition, let us talk about what black women don't do. The black community. But I don't ever see y'all out here fighting for systematic oppression to be dismantled. Y'all love laying up with the supremacists. Did we forget about Miss Thing Thing and the NYPD cop? The MAGA cop? That was crazy. That was crazy. I'm like, what? And we really found out a lot of y'all love being laid up with some MAGA cops and some MAGAs as long as they got a little money. Baby, because if it ain't white, it ain't right. That's how a lot of y'all be thinking over there. That's why I be like, I be side-eyeing y'all. That's why I love me some Flame. Y'all can never make me hate Flame. Never, ever, ever. So Flame, keep doing you. Sometimes rejection is the protection, because look at some of these activists. Look at some of these leaders. Look at some of their talking points now. Just very redundant, very outdated modules. Just the goalposts keep changing. And I'm like, baby, do you not see what's going on outside? I think they want to go back to the time where they were truly oppressed, because the lavender laws were very real. There's a reason why they call it lavender marriages. Like, I don't play about that because I understand what our founding fathers and sisters in the community had to go through just for them to have just equality. Okay, I tell y'all all the time. I voted Prop 8, no hate. I was out here doing it because I wanted my homeboys and homegirls to live their best gay lives. I wanted them to get divorced and be miserable like the rest of the people. I wanted them to duke it out in court over the assets. I didn't want to see my friends have to adopt their partner so that their partner can give life-saving or life-changing things like, are you hoes okay? Y'all don't be knowing y'all history. Y'all just over there fucking, okay? Y'all don't know your history. You don't know your elders. And y'all just over there fucking. Y'all over there doing bumps and 8 balls and illicit and elusive things and just having sex and orgies. That is not what the girls, the dolls, and the boys died for. Okay? Wake the hell up. Go educate yourself. Sometimes you gotta listen to the old hoes, because that's what Flame Monroe calls herself. Sometimes you gotta listen to the old hoes because they really be teaching. And even though you don't want to hear it, some of y'all need to hear it because y'all have no decorum, y'all have no kuta. All right? Just out here, just wild. Y'all need to tighten up, because ask yourself 10 years from now, what do you want your legacy to be? A get money bitch who has to extort men or fight with women? Or because how long are you gonna do that for? And I'm not saying there's some wild women out there who do make it hard for the trans girls who are just living their best life, but y'all be out here making it seem like it's a collective, and that's not the case. That is not the reality. The reality is there's more misogyny in the world than there is
women hating y'all. But what do I know? What do I know? But anyways, what are your thoughts, babes? What are your opinions? Comment down below. I gotta go. Bye, hoes.